We said last week there was a complicated but reasonable path for the Packers to get to the playoffs, and this week made it simpler, actually. Packers need to win their last two games against the Vikings and the Lions, and they need just one of the following two things to happen. Either one loss by Washington or two losses by the Giants. There is unquestionably a chance of one of those things happening and also the Packers winning their last two games. As I mentioned, Rex Ryan joining us now.
Look at the big
so
fella.
far away, Rex.
They miss you here, Rex.
So far away.
They wish you were here to talk Packers. RC, I want to start with you. You buying this Packers team as a playoff team?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, that was not convincing.
But because
Okay.
we're asking the literal question versus the figurative question, right? The literal question is, can this team get into the playoffs? And I owe the entire Packer Nation an apology because I said it was absolutely absurd to believe that this team could get into the playoffs, and I was wrong. Because now you look at them having games against two divisional rivals, two divisional opponents that are very beatable opponents for the Green Bay Packers. Now, let's swing it around to what really matters.
All right, what you got?
If the Green Bay Packers get into the playoffs, does anybody care? Absolutely not. This is not a team that is playing offense at a high enough level to compete with the Philadelphia Eagles, to compete with a team like the San Francisco 49ers. And even though we believe so much in what Aaron Rodgers has been historically, Aaron Rodgers has not been that this year. This defense that is supposed to be dominant and that should have been dominant based on their roster the entire year hasn't been that. And we're going to look at the fourth quarter yesterday, and we're going to say to ourselves, you know what, look at this. They got 3 interceptions, and they became a dynamic defense. But this isn't a team that makes any noise getting into the playoffs. And then there are going to be people like Dan Orlovsky, right, who is now going to sit here, and he's going to wish he had a friend that can pull close to him like Rex and I, who have believed the entire season that the Green Bay Packers were no good. And he's going to be excited about a team with a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback that is the best of all time, that has a team that is 7-8.
Okay, so first of all, I'm convinced Rex didn't show up today because so you don't want to have to face me in person because he was maybe wrong about the Packers and I may have been right. All right, so are the Packers a playoff team? To your answer, literally, yes, they have the opportunity to. Week 18, when they play Detroit at home, it feels like it's going to be a playoff game. That being said, it's pretty incredible that they are in the situation that they are.
Because they beat the Bears and the Rams?
We got to be honest about this football team, though. The Hall of Fame quarterback is there, right? But this team has been playing without their left tackle for a long time. They didn't have their right tackle yesterday. Both their receivers that were supposed to be the draft picks that became like important parts, both Christian Watkins and Romeo Doubs have missed plenty of time. Allen Lazard, their number one, missed time. Elton Jenkins, their star guard, has missed time. Randall Cobb was his number one receiver for like half the season. So for the fact that this team is in the situation where if they win and get just a little bit of help, then they're going to be in the playoffs, is pretty incredible. And I do believe that, like, yesterday was a relatively fair example of, in many ways, what we thought the team would be. And the reality was we thought they'd play dominant defense. They didn't. Now they got some takeaways. I think they were giveaways. Special teams was really good for this football team. And then we all said this offseason, it was going to come down to Aaron Rodgers making like 3, 4, 5 ridiculous throws on a game-by-game basis. And Aaron did that yesterday.
Look at them on paper, they should be fantastic. They'd have been playing like this all year. But you know what? They haven't. So I ain't buying it. They're going to slip up in one of these two games, either against Minnesota or against Detroit. I'm not buying them still. And yeah, it was an impressive performance. An impressive quarter by their defense. So to me, I ain't buying it. This team, to me, you know, it's amazing. They're still the hell it is. You got a Hall of Fame quarterback. Like, come on.
But everybody on their team has been hurt. I mean, no team outside of maybe Tampa Bay in the NFC has dealt with the injuries offensively like Green Bay has. Their starting left tackles missed the great majority of the season.
Well, honestly, but you knew that, right? So you knew that coming into the year that Bakhtiari would be injured or he'd be banged up. Like he's been banged up for the last couple of years. And so I think that was something you had to plan for coming into this season.
The quarterback's had a broken thumb.
And hey, Daniel, we understand all of these things, right? and everybody in the NFL plays with all of these things. The bottom line is this team is 7-8. And coming into the season, we weren't asking our broken thumb Hall of Fame quarterback to be Hall of Fame for 4 quarters. What we were saying was we were going to run the football with Jones and Dillon. We were going to play elite level defense. And like you said, 3 to 5 plays a game, we want number 12 to be the number 12 we've always known. We got to see a little bit of that yesterday, but as a team, they haven't played up to their potential, and also Aaron Rodgers hasn't been the player that we've expected or that we've known him to be.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.